now joining us, we have Karina Petersen, a very familiar face to you guys. She, of course, works with Samaritan's Purse, and you have been traveling around quite a bit here recently, it sounds like.
Yep, kind of the story of my life, especially in springtime when tornadoes hit. Recently just got back from Pensacola, Florida, where Samaritan's Purse is responding to help flood victims there. We're still there. We'll be there for quite some time. And then just before that, I got back from Arkansas, where I was in 2 different locations where we were helping tornado victims.
Yes, lots of tornadoes kind of hit right there together. Talk with us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I believe it started in Kansas and Arkansas April 27th, and then within hours to days to follow, Mississippi, Alabama, other states were hit as well. So we deployed to 2 different locations in Arkansas, Mayflower and Valonia. Those were the hardest hit. They had multiple deaths, neighborhoods completely wiped out.
Right.
We also deployed to Baxter Springs, Kansas, Louisville, Mississippi, and Athens, Georgia. Athens, Alabama. Sorry, Athens, Alabama. So we responded to a couple different states. We're still in Mississippi and we're still in Alabama. We did wrap up our Arkansas relief efforts as well as Kansas, but we've responded to tornadoes. We had more Oklahoma a year ago today. Joplin, Missouri. Some of these, just one community gets hit really hard, and this string of tornadoes hit multiple communities across multiple states.
Right.
Much of the south and the central part of the United States got devastated. We were fortunate that we were able to go to so many locations, that we have the capacity to be able to respond
Right.
to so many locations. Arkansas, where I was, just to go into these towns, neighborhoods where it's one street that got completely wiped out, where their entire family lives on this street. It's not just one family.
Right.
It's 4 brothers and their parents. And so, one family and all of their, extended relatives, they all got hit. That's where I'm so happy that we're able to come in and help, because, in times of disaster, you might have family that can help, but when
Everybody
families, when all of their relatives are also devastated, where do you turn?
Exactly.
So just a lot of need. We've had a lot of volunteers, but man, we're still going to need a lot more volunteers, as we're still in Mississippi. We're still in Alabama. We're still in Florida. So.
Absolutely. Now, when you were in Arkansas, what are the kinds of things that you guys are doing to help these people who are in so much need?
So with this in Arkansas, a lot of homes were completely leveled. A lot of homes, if they still were standing, the roof was completely blown off, maybe a side of the house. So the biggest thing that we were doing was packing up people's homes, or what was left of it, helping them find anything that's salvageable.
Right.
And loading it up onto a trailer for them to take to a storage unit. Some people didn't have a storage unit, so we're putting everything in one pile, and we're putting a tarp over it, so that hopefully no one is going to come and steal that until they can figure out where to put that. Another thing, a lot of trees are down. Huge trees are uprooted, and so we've had a lot of chainsaw teams going in, cutting them up. And we also had heavy equipment, bobcats, skid steers, that were coming in and then taking those big pieces that we've cut up, that are still pretty big pieces that you and I can't necessarily just throw over our shoulder.
Right.
The heavy equipment coming in to clean that up. Also, there's some homes that weren't completely destroyed in Arkansas. There were few, but those homes that weren't completely destroyed, that the roof, part of it was, maybe just a section of it was blown off, or a tree came crashing through and put a hole in it. We're tarping those up. But majority of the work there was just clearing debris, sorting through the debris to find salvageable belongings. And then once we found everything that we could, then it's clearing that and bringing everything to the curbside. Even to where we rake it. Their home that's kind of standing right there might have to be demolished, but just, cleaning up all the surrounding area. And I'm talking about all the help that we're doing physically, but I'll say it every time that I think sometimes the most important thing that we can do is just be there for them emotionally, help them with that spiritual help. If they do want prayer, they do need prayer, they need a shoulder to cry on. And sometimes it's get them to laugh. I mean, I was walking through with a homeowner we were helping in Mayflower, Arkansas, and I was comfortable with her, whatnot. We're walking through, and she wanted to take photos of her neighborhood that now is destroyed. And something, I don't know, I said something, she started laughing and said, I needed that so much, Karina. I can't tell you how good it is to laugh. I've needed to laugh. They're going through a lot of just trying to pick up the pieces and figure out, where do I live now, or can I afford to rebuild? I mean, they've lost everything, but they're also dealing with the nightmares of what they had to go through when they were in their home when the tornado hit, thinking that they were, about to be taken away.
Right.
So, just a lot going on, and we'll continue to just help in the ways that we can and the ways that we know how.
Absolutely. That's a great point. It's not just the physical things. It's obviously the emotional and the mental that play a big role as well. Now, in Florida, talk with us a little bit about the scene there.
So, Pensacola, Florida, as you may know, got hit with just historical rains. This is not flooding from a river or lake. This was, people got flooded by just an insane amount of rain. Some areas were hit with 24 inches in less than 24 hours. So,
that's incredible.
If my math is correct, that's 2 feet. That's
right.
It's a lot of rain that just came in so fast into areas that people didn't have flood insurance because they weren't required to have flood insurance. They're not, in an area that typically would get flooded. And so this happened kind of just right after that string of tornadoes. So we went into the area, and we are helping people. Actually, it looks a lot messier what we're doing to their home, but it's very necessary that we're gutting out their homes. We're going above where it flooded. Might have been 2 feet. We'll go up to 4 feet, and we will cut out the sheetrock, rip out the flood damaged sheetrock, the insulation, also damaged flooring, whether that's carpet or wood, and clean that out, and then spray it with a chemical to treat for mold. That's the biggest thing that they're facing, is that they need to get all this flood damaged material out of their home, or else, we were already starting to see, we were already seeing the mold as we would rip it out. So it doesn't look pretty, but it's very, very important to do, or else these families are just, they can't live in their home.
Absolutely.
And also that emotional support. They didn't get hit with a tornado, but this flood is just as bad to them as that tornado was to those tornado victims. I've noticed in Pensacola and other floods that we've responded to, that these people are emotionally drained. Even a family we were working with, she was sharing with me that she thought that they were going to drown. She said, I didn't know when the water was going to stop. I saw it just come rushing in. Me and my husband, we couldn't run up the stairs. We can't make it up the stairs.
Right.
We had tree branches and all sorts of debris coming into the home. Power was out. We had heard that there were rescue boats coming to get us. The rescue boat never came. We didn't know if we were going to make it. So it was scary for them at the time, and now they've lost all of their furniture, everything got either damaged or swept away. So they're at a huge loss, and it's not a quick fix to get your home back to where it was, or to be able to get back all those belongings.
Absolutely. So a lot of work still to be done. If we have anyone watching right now who is interested in becoming a volunteer, what did they do in order to do
So
that?
all you have to do is go to SamaritansPurse.org. We've got a bar on there on the bottom of the screen. Click on that to volunteer. We are still in some of these areas helping tornado victims and flood victims in Pensacola. We can't do what we do if we didn't have volunteers. So if you kind of have it on your heart, you're interested, go to SamaritansPurse.org or call us at 828-262-1980 and find out how you can sign up to volunteer.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in to
Thank
talk with us
you.
today. Of course. And we will be back right after these messages with more of the Mountain Television Network.